All right, so let's go into something more pleasant here. So you're living on Bridle Path, just down from Mildred, in that white house with the blue shutters, right?
Yeah.
And this is the start of 62, 1962? The spring of 62.
Yeah, and next door neighbor was uh, the Ink family, E-I-N-C-K. They were good Baptists, but Mr. Ink liked to come over and have a drink with me every once in a while when Myrtle wasn't looking. But they were very, very nice neighbors. And I had a dog, if you can believe that. You know, Claire is so deathly afraid of dogs. I think MK bought me a dog. He bought me a Basset Hound. Dumb old dog. And so I had George Joseph enclose a great big fenced area for the dog, and the dog would stay as close to the house as he could be. He wore out that part of the grass. The rest of the part he never really hardly used. So I was trying to get championship points. You know how you show a dog, take a dog, you know, all that business. So I'd take him down to the auditorium, and there'd be dog shows here. And then he had bought those dogs. He had one and I had one. He bought them from a man named Tom Bloomer that was, I think, in Westlake Hills. So one day Tom said to me, he was taking a couple of his Bassets down to a big show in San Antonio. And he said, you know, you want me to take Mr. Thurlow? And I named the dog after a professor I had in dental school that I didn't like. Thurlow Weed Brand. So anyway, I named him Mr. Thurlow. I said, okay, you know, you can take him down. So anyway, he and his wife and their kids, I think, they take 2 or 3 dogs down to San Antonio. They come back, and when they come back, they're glum, you know. I wonder what did my dog do wrong now? He probably maybe messed up the car or something. Well, anyway, it turned out that Mr. Thurlow won everything over his dogs.
Oh.
You know, and he had groomed his and everything. I didn't know what to do with the dog. I just said, here, take the dog. I felt terrible. I mean, he hands me a blue ribbon, you know, and he and his wife are long-faced. Oh, it was embarrassing, you know.
So I guess by this time, you know, by this summer, I guess Monica was, or you guys were expecting Monica?
Monica was born about 3 hours before our first year anniversary.
So it was
And she was induced. Claire was induced, and that's the reason. Otherwise, she would have been a 1-year anniversary baby.
Okay.
So Monica was born. I think the doctor wanted to go to a football game or something. I don't know. Anyway, Monica was born, and then Gregory was born almost 2 years later. And then Adrian was about a little bit, almost 2 years later, and then it just went down the line. They were all about 2 years apart.
So
Monica was a very easy baby. She was very easy. Gregory was tougher, hard. He was sort of hot-wired. Sylvia was impossible. We about gave her away. Maybe we should have. She was into everything. Jessica was a good baby. She was easy. She'd choke easy. She you know, I don't know. She would choke, and when she choked, Claire would panic and run upstairs and leave her with me. And half the time I didn't know what was going wrong. You know, sometime I'd be in another room and she'd scream for me, and she'd run up the stairs, and I'd walk in. I'm trying to figure out why is she upstairs, and I see Jessica turning blue. I have to figure out what she's choking on.
Right.
I shouldn't tell that story, but that's true. I can say it to you since you're her husband. I don't know. During all that time, I don't know what was happening. Austin was sort of growing, and